And in 2025, you broke ground on the Hampson House down in the River Flats area, I believe.
Yeah, this is an exciting project. Not quite done yet, but the Hampson House was started by with a bequeathment, basically, from the family of a former client that lived in a ready operated group home, who had a bit of a traumatic history, and that's a little bit of a study in the history of how people with disabilities have been treated in the province of Alberta, quite frankly. There was an institution in central Alberta called the Michener Centre that for many years it was kind of like, I'll put it indelicately, it was a place to store disabled
warehouse
people.
them.
And really, I mean, if we're looking back at it truthfully, that's what it was. They're seen as an issue to be dealt with, and that was a place to put them.
Sight out of mind.
Exactly, right? So at a certain point, Michener got shut down, and then she was able to live in a proper home and lived out the rest of her life with the support of Ready, in a Ready group home. And her family left an estate to us, and a portion, or the entirety of what Ready received got basically used on a down payment and a little bit more on this particular housing project. The rest, Ready is covering ourselves, and it's really... I think we're taking an innovative approach on this one too, because the setup is pretty neat. We're trying something a little bit different, where it's a large house, and the front half of it is a group home environment, but it's a smaller one. It's really space for 3 people that need a lot of supports, 24/7 supports, and it's fully accessible, so barrier free. And then the back half of it is 3 individual suites for people that live largely independently but might need some on-demand supports. Mm-hmm. So, which actually is quite a lot of the population that we serve. The vast majority of them do live largely independently and just might need a little bit of help from time to time. So we think it's a really nice little environment for 6 people to live in. And if it's successful, we're hoping to replicate it. Maybe more of the style of house coming, maybe here, maybe in other communities as well.
And that brings us up to 2026, where you are partnering with the province of Alberta on a project called Runway.
Yeah, we're excited about Runway. Previously we're talking about how traditionally Ready's funding and purpose has mostly been about people with developmental disabilities. But there's been some gaps for people that have barriers in the past if they need some help with getting a job. These include people that could be put into these types of categories, but they don't have to be necessarily. But say FASD, or fetal alcohol spectrum, autism. That's a tough one because it's very broad, and often they don't. People with autism don't qualify for a wide variety of other supports, and again, people with acquired brain injuries. So Runway, this employment program, hits all of those and maybe some others as well. So all that's needed, it's exciting because the barrier to entry for this, for people that are looking for a job but might be experiencing barriers to employment, is pretty low. You only need a diagnosis or suspected diagnosis, so of any of those conditions. So you don't need to go through some intense evaluation, and often expensive to pay for a doctor's time to prove that you're disabled. You just need to get basically a referral, and it can be a self-referral. You get into our program, and it's really nice. They really want to find out a lot about the person up front, not past just who are you and what kind of skills do you have right now and where can we put you. It's really about what do you think you'd like to do? What do your skills look like right now? Are there any gaps between that? How do we fill some of those gaps? And what's on the market and what are employers looking for? And then we also work on the employer side to try to bridge that gap where maybe we've got an employer who says, I need a bunch of employees, right, for the seasonal job. And I'm having a tough time just getting them out of placing Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads or whatever the case may be now. We can say, hey, we've got this workforce here. In some cases, maybe they don't line up with their skill set and what they can offer doesn't necessarily line up perfectly with your position description, but here's some simple modifications that we can make, and then things might line up really nice. Where if they don't have to do this one particular task, but they'll do all these other ones really well, and then we can find someone else to handle that one task for you. Yeah, sometimes they call that like job carving, or where it's kind of like manipulating the aspects of a job to not what the employer had necessarily in their mind going in, but they find that they can get some really good employees out of it. And yeah, especially those ones that are struggling to populate their workforce, right?